Welcome to Wisdom of the Bible channel.
In the scorching heart of the ancient world, where endless desert sands met the promise of life, stood a city that would echo through eternity. This was Jericho, the city of palms, whose towering walls witnessed miracles that shook the foundations of faith itself. From the heights of Mount Nebo, the Almighty revealed to Moses a vision of extraordinary beauty. Stretching before them lay the Jordan Valley, and at its heart, like an emerald jewel set in golden sand, rose the magnificent city of Jericho. The palm trees of Jericho swayed majestically in the desert wind, their green crowns a testament to divine blessing. These were not mere trees, but symbols of God's abundant grace flowing in an otherwise barren land. Water, the source of all life, bubbled from hidden springs beneath the city. This precious gift transformed Jericho into a thriving oasis, where prosperity bloomed like flowers after rain. Rising from the fertile plains of Moab, Jericho commanded the crossroads of empires. Its strategic position controlled vital trade routes connecting Egypt to distant kingdoms, making it a prize coveted by nations. The city's massive fortifications stretched skyward like monuments to human ambition. These weren't ordinary walls, but layered defenses that seemed to defy the very heavens themselves. Within these towering barriers lived a bustling population, their homes built even into the walls themselves. The city pulsed with commerce, conversation, and the constant flow of travelers from distant lands. Yet despite its impressive defenses, fear crept through Jericho's streets like morning mist. Word had spread of the approaching Israelites and their God who parted seas and toppled kingdoms. Among Jericho's inhabitants lived a woman whose story would illuminate God's boundless mercy. Rahab, dwelling within the city walls, earned her living through means society condemned. When Israelite spies entered Jericho, they found shelter in Rahab's humble dwelling. Little did they know they were about to encounter faith that would shame kings and priests. Rahab spoke with stunning clarity about the God of Israel, recognizing his supreme power over heaven and earth. Her words revealed a heart that had heard the stories of divine miracles and chosen to believe. The woman whose society cast aside demonstrated courage that would save her family. She negotiated skillfully with the spies, securing protection for all those she loved most dearly. A scarlet cord hanging from Rahab's window became a beacon of salvation. This simple cloth would mark the difference between destruction and deliverance when judgment finally came. Before we continue, please subscribe to our channel to support us. It helps us spread the word and create more videos for you. The siege of Jericho began with an eerie silence that chilled the bone. No battering rams thundered against the gates, no armies charged the walls with ladders and swords. Instead, a strange procession circled the city each day. 7 priests carried sacred trumpets, followed by the Ark of the Covenant, with armed men marching in solemn formation. For 6 days this mysterious ritual continued, leaving Jericho's defenders bewildered. What kind of warfare was this, where enemies walked instead of attacking? On the 7th day, the atmosphere crackled with supernatural tension. The Israelites circled the city 7 times as the priests' trumpets echoed across the valley. Then came the moment that shattered human understanding. At Joshua's command, the entire Israelite army released a thunderous shout that seemed to shake the very foundations of creation. The impossible happened in an instant. Jericho's mighty walls, those towering symbols of strength and security, collapsed completely flat, forming a natural ramp into the city. This wasn't mere military strategy but divine intervention beyond human comprehension. The fortifications that had protected Jericho for generations crumbled like sand before almighty power. Only Rahab's house remained standing, marked by the scarlet cord that had promised protection. Her family emerged safely while the rest of the city faced divine judgment. Joshua pronounced a solemn curse upon anyone who would dare rebuild Jericho. This was an empty threat but prophetic declaration that would echo through centuries. For 500 years, Jericho lay in ruins, its scattered stones a silent testimony to the power of God's spoken word. The site became a haunting reminder that divine promises never fail. During King Ahab's wicked reign, a man named Kildare challenged the ancient curse. He began rebuilding Jericho, believing perhaps that time had weakened the prophetic word. The curse proved tragically accurate. Heel lost his firstborn son when laying the foundation and his youngest when setting up the gates, exactly as Joshua had foretold. Yet God's story with Jericho was far from over. Centuries later, the rebuilt city would witness miracles that surpassed even its ancient destruction. By the roadside in New Testament Jericho sat Bartimaeus, a blind beggar whose world existed in perpetual darkness. He had heard whispers of a miracle worker passing through. When Jesus of Nazareth approached, Bartimaeus cried out with desperate faith. The crowd tried to silence him, but his voice only grew stronger and more insistent. Jesus stopped and called for the blind man to approach.